Hello, everyone. Hemantini, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, very good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all of you based on whichever time zone you're attending this international webinar. We'll start the webinar in a minute now. But before we start, just some housekeeping request. Just to ensure that the webinar goes smoothly and without any technical hitch. During the presentations, please switch off your video as well as mute yourself. During the question answer, of course, please raise your hand, and then when your name is called, you can then unmute yourself and then ask the question. This way we'll ensure that we can conduct the webinar smoothly. Mr. Kamavura, if you can keep your video off, and likewise, I request all attendees to kindly keep your video off and also mute yourself. With this small request, let me begin this international webinar, and I'll give a brief introduction about the webinar as well as the project and this report, and also introduction about what all we'll be covering in this international webinar. I'll share my screen now. Hemantini, can you confirm if you can see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So this is an international webinar on Church Street First, impact assessment of pedestrianizing in urban street in terms of quality of life. This is organized by IISc Sustainable Transportation Lab at Department of Civil Engineering, Institute of Science, Bangalore, India, in association with the Technical Committee of TRG, TCT D01, which focuses on travel behavior and transport demand, and also special interest group H2 of World Conference on Transport Research Society, which focuses on transportation related aspects in developing economies. And it's my pleasure to give this introduction together with the co-author of my report, that is Ms. Hemantini Ali Rani. I am a professor of Transportation Systems Engineering at the Department of Civil Engineering. This is a 3-hour session covering different chapters of the report that I'm going to brief in next few slides. Essentially, this whole Church Street First pilot was done under what we call it as Innovating for Clean Air program, IFCA, which was a 2-year joint India-UK initiative. We had a MOU between the Catapult Energy Systems Catapult UK and IISc to do certain pilots demonstrating clean air initiatives and their impact overall. And other than energy systems, the connected places and satellite application Catapult were also involved in this. What we are going to present today is the Clean Air Street First pilot, but there has also been another pilot that has been going on under this IFCA program, which is a zero emission solar based EV charging facility at IISc campus, which is also we are using as a pilot to demonstrate clean air related initiatives. Talking about the Church Street First, the Clean Air Street, this was essentially a initiative to pedestrianize a busy street. If somebody is familiar with Bangalore, they would know Church Street, one of the busiest streets in the heart of Bengaluru. And this was pedestrianized for between 7th November 2020 to 28th February 2021 on every weekends, that is Saturday and Sundays, between 10 a.m. to 12 midnight. The aim was to transform the street into a demonstration area for clean air innovations, including the active mobility solutions, air quality monitors, and tools and activities that encourage sustainable behavior change. And this was also used as a test bed to demonstrate a lot of electric micromobility options, either as last mile or neighborhood level modes. This is a map showing the study stretch, Church Street, which is about 750 meters. And as I mentioned, it's located in heart of Bangalore, next to the MG Road, another, major street in the heart of Bangalore. And as I mentioned, this was pedestrianized on every weekend during these times. So during weekdays, it would have, regular traffic flowing there, but on the weekends, it would actually turn into a fully pedestrianized street, completely, reserved for pedestrians. This was inaugurated on 7th November 2020 through the hands of the Honorable former Chief Minister of Karnataka, the state of Karnataka, within, which is in south of India, Shri Yedurappa. Who was the former chief minister, he himself inaugurated. So it was, very interesting to see political leadership owning and supporting such, initiatives of sustainable mobility and clean air solutions. This whole test bed actually involved a lot of innovators showcasing various electric micromobility options, as you can see, which the visitors also had the experience of experiencing and understanding them. These are all various innovators that were involved. Likewise, there were also innovators related to air quality aspects, whether it is fixed air quality sensors or wearable sensors. And we also had companies who actually helped counting as well as checking the COVID related parameters of visitors coming to the Church Street. So it was a wonderful effort bringing in so many innovators also together. This was the Church Street impact assessments team. All of them would actually be presenting one or the other chapters during the meeting, and the whole implementation and the test bed was spearheaded by Directorate of Urban Land Transport, Government of Karnataka, under the able leadership of the Commissioner DOLT, Madam Manjula. This is some of her officers from DOLT, which are also very closely involved in this initiative. Several other departments pitched in and supported and provided their required assistance. For example, the marshals from the municipal corporation BBMP were very helpful in ensuring the implementation of the Church Street First and also COVID protocols, taking care of COVID protocols and maintaining safety, etc. There was a whole social media team from DOLT which was actually capturing every moment and events on the Church Street First. Thanks to them, these are lovely pictures being captured by the social media team of DOLT. So before pedestrianization and also of course during the weekdays, the street would look like this. But on the days of pedestrianization, which is on weekends, the street would become a social hub, a social activity space with a lot of activities and not just the full space available for pedestrians. And so this also really helped us think about evaluating such initiatives, not just in terms of a transportation policy handle, but also as how it impacts the quality of life. So this is how the street looks like on a typical weekday or before pedestrianizations, and on the days of pedestrianization, this is how a vibrant social space it becomes with outdoor dining activities, social and other kinds of interactions happening on the streets and so on. Recently, the impact assessment report, which of course we are going to present today, was released formally through a function on 24th September on Church Street itself through the hands of Honorable Member of Parliament Shri P.C. Mohan and Honorable Member of Legislative Assembly Shri N.A. Harris. These are glimpses of the report release function. Quickly taking you and acknowledging all the authors of this report. Besides me, Hemantini, my PhD student, and Professor Meghna Verma. And there were 8 interns as part of this Church Street First initiative. Babita from Ramya University of Applied Sciences, Donna James from Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Technology, Kottayam, Kerala, Ranjita Mohan also from RIT Kottayam, Saeed Rufjala from Ramya University of Applied Sciences, Apurva Rao from the Institute of Technology, KLS Institute of Technology, Mohan Kumar, Bhumika, and Vidyashri from Global Academy of Technology, Bangalore. So due acknowledgement to all of them, and you will see them presenting some of the other chapters. So overall, the objectives of the study, the data collection and the impact assessment was actually done both in terms of quantitative indicators of quality of life, but also qualitative studies. Quantitative studies included air quality analysis, estimating air quality index, pedestrian level of service, boarding and lighting at public transport stations, and also street maintenance and cleanliness. Among the qualitative studies were sentiment analysis on social media comments and captions, in particular Instagram, visitors' opinion on pedestrian street, also understanding visitors' motivation and satisfaction through push and pull factors, their advocacy and revisit intentions and so on, and shop owners' opinion on pedestrianized streets. So the report includes these initial chapters that captures the data collection, overall framework, etc. How it is used for assessing the impact in terms of quality of life. And these are the chapters and their authors, and the names highlighted in the blue are the ones who are going to present them today one by one. And the way we progress the presentation, we'll have 2 presentations at a time, and then about 10 minutes kept for question answers for each of those 2 presentations. These are all the chapters that we'll have presentations on. Altogether, there are 13 chapters in this report, and you'll see and hear in detail. Due acknowledgement to all stakeholders, people involved. I can't read the names individually, but it's an important opportunity for us to acknowledge all of them. Also, the whole DOLT team and the DOLT colleagues and staff who have really helped and supported this initiative in various ways. So with that introduction, I stop here.